Well, welcome back to the next video. And well, from lorries to cars to motorbikes to go-karts, and now we're doing aeroplane. So first time I've known that I'm working on an aeroplane engine, but these cylinder heads are off a Jabiru 220A engine, and what I've got to do is remove both seats, grind all this old aluminium out where this big crack is, weld the crack up, and then fit new seats, and then cut them back to the depth. I've wrote the depth down, so yeah, something I think new to us, and I'll record this to show you the repair, see how it looks when it's finished. But definitely at the moment it's not looking great. So go-karts are done, we've got a couple of cylinder heads in there all done, and some machining there for a Pinto which I haven't filmed, but that's all done. The block's over there, I've just been gapping the rings on that, and yeah, let's fix these aeroplane engines. So I'm on with my friend's aeroplane cylinder heads, these big cracks here. The first thing that I need to do is take the seats out. So there's so many different ways of taking valve seats out. You can machine them out, grind them out, and this method that I'm going to show you is I'm going to weld them out. Some people run a bead of weld around the seat and hopefully it shrinks the seat enough where it falls out, but I collect old valves when we strip cylinder heads and the valves are no good. I don't throw them away, I save them. So what I'm going to do is put that in there, and then what that will do is protect the bottom part of the cylinder head, because I have seen it when people try and run a bead of weld around, that some of the splatter goes in the head and it just doesn't really leave a nice finish. So I'm going to put the valves in, and then I'll weld the valve to the seat shrinks, and the good thing about that is I can then use the stem of the valve to tap the seat out. So I've got one for the inlet and one for the exhaust. So the first thing I'm going to do is just MIG weld them in. So I've positioned the valves at the right height, and then what I'm going to do is switch the welder on. I've got the welding mask. I don't know what we like for power and wire speed, but we'll see what it starts to weld like. So watch your eyes. And there we go. It doesn't actually have to be a neat weld. Oh no, I've got a bit of splatter on my... Didn't think about that, did I? I got a bit of bloody splatter on the end of the lens. Shit. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a neat weld. It just needs to make sure that we've penetrated all the way around to grab the seat. And then I need a hammer. Take the earth off, and that's how easy it is to pull the seat out. So what that's done is it's pulled the seat out without really causing any damage to the bore, the socket. Although it doesn't matter because we're going to now chop that out to weld it. Let me get rid of those valves. I don't want to touch them because they're red hot. sec, mate. So the good thing now is I can see how deep that crack goes, and it does. It goes all the way to the bottom of that counter bore. So what I'm going to do now is use a die grinder and then just start to chop all this out ready for aluminium welding. I'm going to take the seats out, the other two cylinder heads first, so I can just continue with the process basically while I've got the welder set up. I'm not going to film the welding again because I've got some splatter on my screen and I don't want to do that again. And yeah, next job we'll do is show grinding out the aluminium and then welding it up. That's all 6 of the seats out, and then if you look on the seat just there, you can see the side where the gases, the combustion gases, have been going down the crack or through the crack and down the side of the seat. Now, it might not have ever caused it a problem, but it could do. It could cause the seat to fall out eventually because the crack would open up. The gases could get behind the seat and eventually it could just work it loose. So, and what you don't want to happen is, if it happens in a road car, then you can just pull over and get recovered. In an aeroplane, I don't know what the outcome is. I expect you could glide down, but yeah, I think if I was sitting in a plane and you had a catastrophic engine failure, I'd be panicking a little bit. I'd be looking for the parachute. So right, so what I'm going to do now is grind all of the crack away and then start to build it with weld. So I've welded up the 3 aeroplane cylinder heads. They took a bit of doing. I don't know what this aluminium is, but you can see all this like grey dust. It really weren't happy welding it. I had to kind of keep building it up and filling it and building it up. And then I've just started to machine the seat pocket. But what I think I'm going to do actually is just try and take a little bit of the aluminium out of the next one with a die grinder, because the seat cutter's doing a good job, but I know that I'm taking a lump of metal out of it, so I'm just going to change the way I do it on the next 5 of them. What I do want to do is just grind out some of the aluminium first from the welder, just because it's really like the cutter in the mire, you can hear it going bang bang as it's trying to do the heavy cut on the aluminium on one side. So a few adjustments to make, but overall I'm pretty happy with how I'm going so far on these. So this is out to the final size. What I'm going to do now is just tidy up the weld, get that nice and flat, and then start to fit these seats. So I'm going to load another cylinder head into the mire and get another one bored out. So I've got all 6 seats in. I've reset all the heights, cleaned up all the area that I've welded. So there's obviously 2 in that, and then that's that one, and that's that one. So what I'm doing now is just cutting the new seat on. I'm starting with the exhausts. I've done one to get my levels right, and then the inlets. So that's these aeroplane heads all finished now. So I've chopped all of the corrosion and the cracks out of the centre of all of these cylinder heads, and then built it up with weld from just below the seat level. Obviously took the original seats out and then fitted new valve seats and then cut them to the same height as what they was in before, and then cleaned up the weld and then just give them a quick wash off. So that is the first time I've ever worked on aeroplane heads like that, so I'm hoping my customer's happy. He's going to come and collect them tomorrow and we're going to get on with another job. We've just had a local customer bring this motorcycle cylinder head in. I haven't got a clue what it is, to be honest, but he's had it all welded up. They've done a good job of welding it. It's all the way around. But what he wants is he wants us to machine this to 95mm from the head face to here, and then he's going to send this off to be hardened, and then we've got to give it a final skims. But the initial job is to get it down to 95mm. So I'm going to set this up and get it done. I've got it clamped down, and what I'm doing is I've put an old cutter in just to give it a rough cut and see where all the highs and low points are. And I'm a little bit worried that if there's tungsten in there, it'll destroy the good diamonds. So there's an old diamond in there at the moment, and I'm just running over the whole surface to try and get us where we're level. You can see the polished up parts where it's touching. And there we go, that's down to what my customer wanted as a finished size. Let me just stop the machine. Yeah, so this is down to what my customer wanted as a finished size, and it's done a lovely job. The only thing is it's quite low on his weld here. There's a low spot there, so there is a couple of low spots, but he did say more had to come off it, so I'll show him when he gets here, and hopefully that's what he wanted. On to the next job. So I'm just machining an A series for a customer who builds his own engines. Real nice chap. Bought some bits up for us to machine for him. I've started to do them actually, but then I thought I will show it. So this is the A series block. We was originally going to do a plus 40 rebore on it. He's fitted cam bearings, but we've got to size them. He wants 1/8 thou off the block. He wanted us to balance the pistons, and then he's fitted new small ends, so we needed to balance the conrods, check the big end for size, and hone the small end to size. The job changed slightly actually, because he then decided that he was just going to go straight out for 100 thou rebore, which takes it to 1380. So we've got to bore this in 3 stages, and we need to offset bore the cylinders to keep the meat in between cylinders 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So basically we're going to offset bore cylinders 1 and 4 outwards, and then cylinders 2 and 3 we're bringing inwards. We bring cylinders 2 and 3 in by a little bit more than what we take 1 and 4 out. So we've had to balance the pistons as well, and these markings on the top, I've marked them 1, 2, 3 and 4 because I always measure each piston individually, but like this one that we've got as number 4 needed 2.4 grams off, so we've taken that weight out the bottom of the piston there. This one needed 1.9 out, and this one just needed a little tickle at 0.4, so that one wasn't so bad at all. So that's that job done. So what I'm going to do now is I've torqued up his ARP bolts. I'm going to use the Sunnon hone to machine that, so I've put the right honing mandrel in. We've also just moved the machine. A mate of mine is here, Kingdom, so he's a big strong lad. He's helped me move the hone from there, because every time we was trying to use it there, we had to run an extension cable and also we was using it as a dumping ground. We've moved it to here. I've recently bought this machine, a ring gear heater called a hot rod, made by Tetroc. So we've put that in, and then basically everything can plug into the three-phase station there. So I'll carry on filming as we're doing jobs. So this is the first bore. Like I say, I've got to bore this a couple of times to get it out to the right size. So this is offset slightly. And while this is going down, I'm setting up the Sunnon to do the small ends. So that's the rods all honed on the small end now, and I'll grab one of these pins. I can show you what they're like. So the pin should just fall through with a little bit of resistance. So that one's sorted. Same with that. They need washing, there's a little bit of swarf in there, but that's nice and easy to fall through. That's one. Like that. And then he also wanted me to check the big end. So when I do that, I'm checking that point across there, and then there and there. So when I do that, it's down to 0. I don't know if that's picking that up. 0. So they're all good. Now the next thing that he wanted me to do was to machine 8 thou off the block. Now he wanted me to do that on this piston here. And when we've got his new piston, there's actually a bit of a step there, so I'm going to measure that too. So I'm going to measure that step there, and then skim the block a little bit more than 8 thou to get that bit right too. And then on the block, 2 of the bores are to size. This is the 3rd one. The next thing I'm doing is balancing these A-series conrods, and the first thing that I want to do is just see how heavy they are as an overall weight. So I'm going to put the lightest one on first, just to show you. I'll zero that out, and then I've already checked them once, but this one here is the heaviest, and it's 7.3 grams heavy. So that's all the mini stuff done. So we've bored this out to 1380. We've refaced the deck by 15 thou. We've balanced the conrods and machined the small ends. Let me find one that's been balanced. That one there. So we've took a bit of weight off there, some off the small end to get the end to end roughly right. These are the original pistons. He was going to bought it out to 40 thou and then decided to go to 1380. These are the 1380 pistons. I've balanced them because they was a little bit out as well, and then I've hit, my customer fitted the cam bearings, but we've machined them to fit his Piper cam, and it's all been through the cleaner and it's ready for him to collect tomorrow, I believe. So that's all of that done, and we'll crack on with something else. In fact, we won't crack on with something else. We're going to end this video here because I can add that and add another video to it and make something for you guys to watch. Hope you enjoy, and if you could like and subscribe if you're watching this. We get on the algorithms, we get to see how many of our subscribers actually watch the videos, and it's still, there's more non-subscribed people than subscribers that watch. So if you could please, if you're watching it and you find any of this interesting, if you could hit the subscribe button, it really helps the channel. We're trying to grow the channel and get it where it's pretty popular, so we can make more great content really, and buy more machinery and show you what we do. But we definitely need your support, guys. Please, if you could just hit the subscribe button, hit the alert bell, that'd be great. Thanks for watching.